God is giving me a message out there for someone today who has been a slave to their addictions, a slave to their negative thinking patterns, a slave to the way that they thought it was supposed to go, a slave to timelines, a slave to trying to do things on their own. And not only that, but a slave to fear. And I'm just going to dive into Philippians to help someone today who is wondering, where is God in my life? I haven't seen him. I'm trying to pray. Where is God? What is happening? Why is this happening to me? And I'm going to start off with Philippians 1:12. And this is Paul writing from jail. He's in jail, trying to preach the gospel. And he says, I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that what has happened to me has actually served to advance the gospel. As a result, it has become clear through the whole palace garden to everyone else that I am in chains for Christ. And because of my chains, most of my brothers and sisters have become confident in the Lord and dare all the more to proclaim the gospel without fear. And I want you to understand that whether you're going through something that is emotionally draining, financially draining, physically draining, maybe you have an illness, or you have negative thinking patterns, maybe it's mental health that you're battling with, whatever it is, if you are being faithful to God and you're praying to God, He's not going to leave you in that place. He is going to take care of you. He knows the plans that He has for you, plans to prosper you. He is not going to leave you in a dry season just because He hates you. He doesn't hate you. It's most likely for one of two reasons. Either He's going to attempt to grow you so that you can grow as a human being, as a person, to be a better version of yourself that God knows you to be, or it's going to be to grow you or to use you as an example so that when you get lower and lower and lower and lower, that you're relying on Him, and then boom, you make a turnaround when you're relying on God. And people see that through you. They see that, wow, Jill was struggling with drug addiction, or James was really going through it with this relationship or with a job. He had no job for a long time, and now all of a sudden out of nowhere, this perfect job came through because he stayed faithful to God. And people around you notice that when you're joyful through the bad times, when you're happy through the bad times, when when your house is on fire and you're smiling and you're just like, it's okay, we got insurance. If you just keep a positive attitude even through the bad times, that is a key way that you can use God in your life to not only help yourself get through it, but to bring other people to the gospel. And that is such a huge thing, an amazing thing. And it says in Philippians 1:29, for it has been granted to you on behalf of Christ not to only believe in Him, but also to suffer for Him. So you're not only going to suffer for Him, or you're not only going to just get all the benefits, you're going to have to suffer for Him. It's not easy to be a Christian. It's not easy to give up things for God. It's not easy to get reprimanded for our beliefs. It's not easy to go through the trials and tribulations that God puts us through to grow your character, because when you believe in God, when you love Jesus and have a relationship with Him and God, that is what you're signing up for. You're signing up for saying, okay, God, do your will in my life. And most likely it's going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to go through some changes that are uncomfortable at first because you're evil and you're sick when you first come to Jesus. And in Philippians 2, it says, value others above yourself. And it talks about, in Philippians 2, imitating Christ's humility. So Philippians 2 is all about imitating Christ and being close to Him. And it's about humbling yourself and exalting yourself before God and submitting to God, saying, okay, God, I can't do this alone. I'm going to humble myself before you and trying to walk like God, trying to walk like Jesus. And therefore, you're called to serve others. And when you're in bad times, when you are when you have fear in your heart and you have uncertainty, and you're still helping others, and you're still doing good in the world, and you're still adding value to people's lives, and you're joyful when you yourself are sinking, or so it may seem, then people are like, what is the secret sauce that Maverick has? Why is his girlfriend just broke up with him, he lost his job, yet he's here serving on a random Saturday, helping homeless people out at a shelter, or he's here helping me out when I'm moving, and he just has such a good attitude when he should be spending time getting a job. That is who God calls us to be. And that is something that's going to take your pain and the things that you're going through and use it to progress the kingdom of God and to grow your own character as well. Now, in terms of going through a new season in life, and maybe you're not going through a tragedy, maybe you just are planning something new. Maybe you're walking into something that God called you to do. So for me personally, I'm about to do that. I'm about to quit my job. I'm I'm about to go back to school. I feel like God has opened doors for me. He got me in programs. He gave me a place to live. He has made it abundantly clear that's where he wants me to go. And honestly, I don't really want to necessarily do it. Like, I have a very comfortable job. I'm not fulfilled, and I'm not helping people, which is what I would be going back to school for. But I have a comfortable job, and it's going to be a lot of work, and I'm going to give up a lot of my money, and I don't want to do that. And I'm scared, and I have fear from that. And every day I pray to God about it. I pray to God about it. I pray to God about it. And this verse helped me a lot. In Philippians 2:12, therefore, my dear friends, as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. So, for those of you that maybe you're in tragedy, or maybe you have an area of fear, an area of uncertainty in your life that is coming at you, and you're like, God, where are you? I need you. God, I need you. I'm suffering. I don't know what to do. I'm drowning. I don't know where you've been. I feel like you used to call on me, you used to talk to me, and now you're gone. Where are you? He's not gone. He's there. He's always with you. God is always with you. He wants to see you being faithful in his absence. He's testing you. He wants to see that you're going to do the things that he called you to do, even when he doesn't have to tell you every single step of the way. He'll illuminate the steps for you, but he will not push you to do it every step of the way. Now, the funny thing is, right after that, it says, not only in my presence, but now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, right? So continue to push through it. Continue to push through it with fear and trembling. And having fear, it does not mean you have no faith. Having fear and doing the things that God called you to do in spite of your faith is really what faith is, because faith without works is dead. So if you just say you have faith, but you're not going to put your money where your mouth is, do you really have faith? I would argue absolutely not. You don't have faith. But if you're not hearing from God, and you're scared, and you don't know what's going to work out or not 100%, and yet you say, I'm God, I know that you called me to do this anyway. Even if you're not giving me a sign every single second of the day, even if it's not crystal clear what I should do, I know this is what you want me to do, and I'm going to walk in it, and I know that no matter where it leads me, it's going to be good. And it's going to be not only be good for my life, my purpose, but it's going to be good for my faith, because me getting through a hard season and a hard time is going to ultimately bring me closer to God. And then right after it says, for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. Do everything without grumbling or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure children of God, without fault, wrapped in crooked generation. So now, you're doing things through fear. And you're pushing through that fear. Now when you push through that fear, the sign that God is with you is the fact that you're doing the things that you're supposed to do that you're afraid to do in the first place. So the more you do the things that you're afraid to do, the easier they're going to get, and the more strength that the Holy Spirit will bestow upon you, the more strength that God will give you. So like me doing this video, I'm scared of doing it. Like I don't love talking about my beliefs on the internet. Like I don't want to get attacked for it. I don't want to be made fun of for it. Yet God is calling me to do it because I believe I have a voice and I have a way of reading these passages and hopefully communicating to you on a human level. And I don't want to be fake. I don't want to write an incredibly long script. I just want to be here and present to you what I know to be true from the word that God has given to me to help someone else out there. And God gives me the strength to make these videos. He gives me the strength to come on this camera and say what I believe so openly and vulnerably. And not only that, but just to speak well and to do a good job and hopefully reach some people. So whatever you're doing, if you do it in spite of your fear, in spite of God not being present with you, at least from your perspective, then he will give you the means and the methods to complete whatever he wants you to complete. Whatever it's in his will and he wants you to do, he will give you the option and the skill set to complete it. So whether you're in a state of tragedy, a state of brokenness, a slave to your addictions and your chains, know that can be used for your ultimate good. And whether you're in a state of fear and uncertainty and you're calling on God, you're like, God, where are you? I don't know where you are. Just know that he's with you and he will equip you for the mission that you have at hand, as long as you walk in faith, even when it's not apparent that it's exactly what he wants you to do. I love you. Goodbye.